So today is about tradition. It's about coming together once again to remind ourselves that we are unique and connected, that we freely choose to gather, to blend, to be held in this place we call church, and that by our choice, we become part of a stream of life of First Unitarian Church that has flowed in this place, in this location, for 58 years, and in Des Moines for more than 138 years. A stream that has carried many hearts and minds toward greater understanding, greater love, greater justice. A stream that is broadened by our participation in it, by our willingness to invite others to contribute to it. It's good to have regular reminders throughout the year of the beauty of our lives, isn't it? The annual rituals that we return to that serve as marking posts of where we have been, where we are, and where we may yet be headed. This season, I'm guessing many of you made it to the fair as one of your August traditions. How many people went to the fair this year? Yeah, I'm sure you have your regular routines and rituals that you do when you go. My family, we're not so much fair goers, but we have made a tradition of going to the National Balloon Classic in Indianola. Have many of you been there? Yeah, it's something I look forward to every summer. Most summers since Susan and I moved here 14 years ago, we've tried to make it to one of the night glow displays to watch the spectacle of a few dozen hot air balloons being inflated in a field, and then as the sun sets, to see them being lit up at the same time. I love the carnival-like atmosphere, the colors and shapes of the balloons, and the banter of the announcers as they exhort the crowd to scream, "Glow!" It's awesome. Ever since the first time we went, it's been a highlight of the summer for me, but it's been a while since I've been. I wanted to wait till Claire could actually appreciate it. She's our 3-year-old, and this year we thought it was the time. So a few weeks back, we loaded up the car and we made the drive to Indianola, and we found a place on the lawn amidst the thousands of other people, and we were dining on corn dogs and drinking soda and awaiting the setting sun and the spectacle to follow. But Claire, as a 3-year-old would, became more interested in the other kind of inflatables that were on the grounds, the bouncy house kind of things that they have set up. And, she said, as she does so effectively, "Let's go do that, let's go do that." So I remember how fun it was to jump around in a bouncy house, and I certainly remember Leah enjoying it. So, of course, I didn't hesitate to wait in line with Claire to have our chance to jump around in the bouncy house, even though it was clear that she was going to have to wait through several rounds of kids jumping before it would be her turn. About 10 minutes into our wait in this long line, 2 boys ahead of us, I thinking they were probably brothers, maybe between the ages of 8 and 10, they were spending their time in line doing what boys that age often do, smacking and beating on each other. And they were laughing. They were having a good time, delighting in this opportunity to expend some energy. The older woman who was with them, I'm guessing she was their grandmother, was not fazed, or maybe she just wasn't paying attention. However, their mother, who apparently was standing off to the side talking to a friend, jumped into the fray, grabbing one of the boys in a kind of threatening way with that kind of halfway under the breath, "Knock it off" voice that parents of boys kind of have to perfect for their own survival. At least my mom did. Anyway, the older brother's like, "What?" Genuinely surprised that his mom was upset. "We were just having fun," he said. And he was right, from what I could tell. So soon the mom was back to her conversation, and the boys were back to being boys, though with a bit less exuberance. Some more time passed, and then the grandma, who must have been tiring of this wait herself, offered the boys a perspective that I instantly knew had the makings of a sermon. It was a simple bit of wisdom, as true in its message as it was confusing in its application to the moment. She seized the opportunity to speak her truth to her grandsons, who in a rare moment of quiet in that line had both been looking longingly toward the bouncy house. She said, "It seems like a long time to wait, but once you're in there, it will go really fast." The boys didn't seem to react. Maybe they didn't really hear her, or maybe they were puzzled too. "It seems like a long time to wait," she said, "but once you're in there, it will go really fast." I played her words over and over in my mind. They were like a Buddhist koan. like a statement offered to confound the intellect and the ego, and to help one be present in the now. A statement like, listen to the sound of one hand clapping. It seems like a long time to wait, she said, but once you're in there, it will go really fast. I pulled out my phone. I recorded myself saying it so I wouldn't forget. Man, we all say odd things to our children in our lives from time to time, things that don't really make sense, or perhaps betray the purpose of the instruction or the counsel we want to offer. Like when I insist to my 3-year-old Claire, you have to stop yelling at me. You have to stop yelling at me. I always chuckle to myself, when I hear myself saying things like that. You kind of hear it, that third body perspective. What am I doing? Maybe the grandmother amused herself too in that moment as she ended up betraying any instinct she might have had to provide some reassurance to the boys that the wait would be worth it. It seems like a long time to wait, she said, but once you're in there, it will go really fast. And sure enough, we did wait a long time, and once Claire got her turn, it was over almost before it began. Let's do it again. Let's do it again, she shouted. By then, the sun was, almost set. The balloons would soon be lighting up in full glow, and I just wanted to return to Susan and Leah and help Claire focus on the reason that we were there, right? To see the balloons. Again, she shouted. It seemed like a long time to wait, but once you're in there, it will go really fast. So we got back in line, a much shorter line this time, as the other parents apparently had much more influence over their children than I did. And I chuckled again, the grandmother's Zen-like wisdom proving its worth, as I acknowledged that I shouldn't be impatient as we make memories, that even though I had come to see the balloons and I had waited a long time, it would all go by really fast if I didn't appreciate the moment, if I didn't savor the now. Knowing it all goes by really fast, I reminded myself that if I didn't give myself to this time I had with my precious daughter, it may go by even faster. So in the end, Claire and I, we got to see enough of the night glow, and she got to jump and jump and jump some more. And soon we were on our way home, another summer memory filed away to savor. It seems like a long time to wait, but once you're in there, it will go really fast. As many of the young people in our lives returned to or started to school this past week, the annual tradition of the first day pictures appeared on social media, along with the question, where did the years go? And for some of our young people, the families who love them, the teachers and the school employees who shepherd them on our behalf, there may be some anxiety roiling around as the wait begins to settle into this new year, to get comfortable with the new people and the new opportunities to learn, to know, and to be known. Managing this anxiety is the challenge and the opportunity for all of us this time of year, especially through the growing pains and changing hormones of family life. Some among us are entering this season with the fresh eyes that come from being without a loved one for the first September, a holy time of grief and discovery, and all the opportunities that this empty space can bring. Opportunities to learn, to know, and to be known even through the sorrow, the very real sorrow that is there as well. In these times of grief, when we may wonder if we will ever feel like ourselves again, maybe we too could find some comfort in those grandmother's words, being patient with our sorrow and the changes it has brought. It seems like a long time to wait to return to normal, we might say, but once you're in there, it will go really fast. Managing anxiety through change is a key need here at our church, too. New programs, new classes, new chances to act on our values, new opportunities to learn, to know, to be known. I think about how challenging it can be to enter a religious community, whether you've been here for a long time or particularly if you're brand new. I remember what it was like for me, how awkward it was to know how to meet people, how to engage, how to feel at home beyond just listening to the services. And so one opportunity I want to encourage you to consider, the adults in the room, is to participate in Soul Matters. These groups of 6 to 10 people meet about once a month, and they reflect on the same monthly themes that we choose to consider in our services. These Soul Matters meetings are designed to offer deep reflection and meaningful connection with others, and it's unlike anything else in my life. Enrollment for this season concludes this month, so I encourage you to take the risk to sign up today, especially if you want to know more people here. And I ask you, if you're considering it and you haven't done it yet, what are you waiting for? I promise, once you're in there, it will go really fast. You'll come to the end of your 2-hour meetings wondering where the time went, savoring all that was shared. As we gather here on the edge of September, hard to believe we're to September already. As we gather here in our religious community, this place where we seek to be, as we say, open to life, expecting to love, and prepared to serve. As we sit together on the edge of another new year in the life of our church, in the life of our families, in the life of our lives. Another new year in which it seems like a long time to wait, but once you're in there, it will go really fast. I close my reflection today with a meditation for September by my colleague Elizabeth Tarbox. So if you're inclined, won't you join me in a spirit of meditation, reflection, or prayer? Whatever September means to you, bring it here and let it find its place in your belonging. Those of you who recently dressed your child for the first day of school, welcome to September. You who tidied your desk, you who will soon bring the hanging plants off the porch, you who may have resealed your driveway, you who met a whole new class of young people, welcome to September. Those of you whose memories of summer will be smoothed onto the pages of a photograph album, those whose memories will line your forehead or perhaps tear your heart, welcome to September too. Those who carried a school bag for the first time, loved someone, said goodbye, maybe cried some, maybe cried a lot, welcome to September. September can make us nostalgic. It's the time of new beginnings. It's the smell of school and shyness. It's the memory of a friend who's died, the way clothes don't fit, worry about the year ahead. We thank you, September, for all that you will bring. Hang around a while. Give us warm autumn afternoons before we have to shake our sweaters out of their summer hiding or mind the broken zipper on the windproof jacket. Spirit of love, bless our house and our hours. Throughout this season of changes, help us to feel the possibility of joy in this place, the joy in our lives, the joy of friendship and beginnings. Amen.